I'm Katie Couric. Tonight, the women of Rutgers respond to what they call a despicable attack.
I would like to express our team's great hurt, anger, and disgust towards the words of Mr. Don Imus.
Words that set off a new national debate over racism and sexism. Also tonight, a new treatment for diabetes using adult stem cells. And a CBS News exclusive with an American soldier about to be tried for murder.
I'm just an infantry soldier doing my job.
What made him pull the trigger?
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Hello, everyone. This country got a lesson today from a group of college students, a lesson about prejudice, about the pain words can cause, and about just how wrong stereotypes can be. The Rutgers women's basketball team went public for the first time today to respond to the words radio and TV host Don Imus called them, words that got him suspended for 2 weeks by CBS Radio and MSNBC. Here's Nancy Cordes.
10 young women donned their game faces and walked out onto the national stage, determined to show they are nothing like the derogatory terms used to describe them.
My name is Essence Carson, and I'm a junior student athlete here at Rutgers University.
She plays 5 instruments.
Good morning, my name is Brittany Ray.
She is studying to become a doctor.
Good morning, my name's Katie Adams.
She's a high school valedictorian.
Proud member of the Rutgers women's basketball team.
It was good to hear.
With uncommon poise for students so young, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights described how they went from elation to outrage in the space of 24 hours, from playing in the college basketball championships to being humiliated on a national radio show.
Oh, some rough girls from Rutgers, man. They got tattoos.
Our moment was taken away. Our moment to celebrate our success. Our moment to realize how far we had come both on and off the court as young women.
Some hardcore hoes. That's some nappy-headed hoes there, I'm going to tell you that now.
Not only has Mr. Imus stolen a moment of pure grace from us, but he has brought us to the harsh reality that behind the faces of the networks that have worked so hard to convey a message of empowerment to young adults, that somehow, some way, the door has been left open to attack your leaders of tomorrow.
Just last week, these 10 girls were being hailed in the sports world as unlikely heroes. 5 freshmen, 5 upperclassmen, no seniors, had pulled off a first in Rutgers history, winning a Final Four game.
I really did not think in my wildest dreams that this team would be the one that would play for the national championship.
Their Hall of Fame coach, Vivian Stringer, brought the team from the bottom. She had been to the Final Four before, but the first time her infant daughter was stricken by meningitis, which has left her confined to a wheelchair ever since.
The second time was at the University of Iowa. My husband suddenly died to a heart attack. And that same year, I was to go to a Final Four. My heart has never been light in going to a Final Four.
This season, she thought it would be different.
We have all been physically, mentally, and emotionally spent, so hurt by the remarks that were uttered by Mr. Imus. But you see, we also understood a long time ago that you know what, no one can make you feel inferior unless you allow them. That we can't let other people steal our joy.
But it was clear that some of the players are hurting. Half of them were in high school a year ago.
You know, I think this has scarred me for life.
Several of them said they were offended most, not as African Americans, but as women who maintain a 3.0 grade point average.
He said, quote, hoe. And unless, in my case, a hoe stands for achievement or something that you're getting done and you know that you're a wonderful person, then I'm not a hoe. And at that, I'm a woman, and I'm someone's child.
The team says it will grant Imus's request for a face-to-face meeting as long as it's behind closed doors. And despite his multiple public apologies, they have not decided whether to forgive him.
It's not about they as black people or as nappy-headed. It's about us as a people, black, white, purple, or green.
The thought of him cleansing his image with this apology, this personal apology, has definitely crossed our minds. But we understand that this isn't the first time this has happened. This isn't the second time it's happened, and it sure isn't the third. So there must be a lot of cleansing that's going on.
Essence Carson is the team captain. She didn't take a position on whether Imus should lose his job, but she did have some creative ideas about how the networks could fill the airtime during his 2-week suspension. She shared those ideas before they headed back to class.
It could be highlights of Rutgers women's basketball games.
Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Piscataway, New Jersey.
Don Imus is a big moneymaker, bringing in hundreds of millions of advertising dollars every year with his radio show. And as financially appealing as he may be, he has a history of hurling insults at people because of their ethnicity, race, or sexual orientation. But he has never had to face this kind of reaction. We continue with Richard Schlesinger.
The Rutgers players now find themselves part of history, but not the part they probably wanted. Not as victors, but as victims of what a chorus of millions considers the latest display of racism.
We're always the last hired, the first fired. We're always the one, we have the highest crime, the worst schools. It's unfortunate in the richest country in the world, but those are the facts of reality.
Here's part of what Congresswoman Kilpatrick is talking about. The latest census figures show the median income for African American households is almost $20,000 less than white households. Whites are about twice as likely than blacks to get a college degree, and the Justice Department says blacks are 5 times more likely than whites to go to jail.
Are we sensitive? You bet we are. We want good schools. We want opportunities and access to cash. We want advertising to depict who we really are.
Observers, both white and black, think Imus's comment was especially stinging because of its timing, when young players should have been celebrating an extraordinary season.
They were great kids, knocking down great shots all over the court, and it just was the furthest thing from anybody's mind.
Well, not from anybody's mind.
Well, not from anybody's mind, but...
Sally Jenkins is a sports columnist for the Washington Post.
You imagine in sports that the winner's circle is genderless and colorless, and they got disabused of that notion, and rather abruptly.
And the insult was taken personally by more people than just the members of the basketball team.
I think it was more than racist and sexist. It really touched a nerve.
Susan Taylor is the editorial director of Essence magazine.
If you think about black women being auctioned off on an auction block naked, standing before the crowds, bidding on them, all of that is race memory.
And to describe black women in Imus's terms, says Taylor, ignores generations of suffering that has been left to African Americans today.
There's really a lot of ignorance about our history and our culture, and certainly our feelings.
There's no more hurt than being hurt in a public eye in front of millions of viewers, listeners, and even readers.
So, if Imus does meet with the Rutgers players, there could well be a curious role reversal. Young women in their teens and early 20s could hold to account a man in his 60s, and those 10 students could well become teachers. Katie.
Richard Schlesinger. Richard, thank you. In other news tonight, more bloodshed in Iraq. The U.S. military announced today that 4 more American soldiers have died. 3 were killed by a roadside bomb in Baghdad, the 4th in combat in Anbar province. Meanwhile, in central Baghdad, a street battle raged all day long and stretched over 2 neighborhoods. Insurgents killed 4 Iraqi soldiers and wounded 16 Americans. North of the capital, a suicide bomber blew herself up today at a police station. At least 16 Iraqi police recruits were killed. President Bush today invited congressional leaders to the White House to break the deadlock over the war funding bill, but he made it clear he still doesn't want to talk about setting a timetable for withdrawing U.S. troops from Iraq. In fact, both sides are as dug in as ever. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Jim Axelrod.
The debate that's been simmering for weeks about $100 billion plus for the Iraq war went full boil today.
Democratic leaders in Congress are bent on using a bill that funds our troops to make a political statement about the war.
At an American Legion post, President Bush sounded like a frustrated parent watching a kid act out, telling Congress if it's going to insist on sending him a bill with troop withdrawal deadlines they know he's going to veto, to please hurry.
They need to do it quickly and get it to my desk so I can veto it. And then Congress can get down to the business of funding our troops without strings and without further delay.
The president said without the new money, the military's training could begin to suffer as early as next week. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid hit back hard, saying that would be the president's fault for not realizing he no longer has a Republican Congress.
The president in the past, he has just done whatever he wanted. He had a big rubber stamp up here in Capitol Hill. Whatever he wanted, they stamped it okay. That's not the way it is now. He's got to listen to us because we are speaking for the American people. He isn't.
How hot is the rhetoric? Reid's no longer content to just argue Democrats have more Americans on their side when it comes to the war in Iraq. He's now invoking a higher authority, referring to the Pope's Easter message that a slaughter is taking place in Iraq.
The president should understand that it's not just the Democratic Congress that is crying out for change in direction, it's the Pope.
The president's invited congressional leaders here to the White House next Tuesday to discuss all this. But an aide quickly knocked down expectations, saying this won't be a negotiation session. Katie?
Jim Axelrod at the White House tonight. Meanwhile, the Democratic-controlled House Judiciary Committee is not at all happy with the cooperation it's getting from the Justice Department in the investigation of those U.S. attorney firings. So today the panel issued the first subpoenas for documents. The committee reportedly wants unedited versions of the documents the Justice Department turned over last month, including performance evaluations of all 93 U.S. attorneys. There is much more CBS News ahead. Coming up next, exciting new research shows how adult stem cells may one day be used to treat diabetes. The Senate began a new debate today on one of the most heated issues in the country, federal funding of embryonic stem cell research. The bill is expected to pass later this week. Supporters say stem cell research could one day lead to cures for diseases like Parkinson's and ALS. President Bush is expected to veto it, as he did last year. While the debate goes on over embryonic stem cells, adult stem cells are being used to treat leukemia, and there's word tonight that they may also have been used for the first time to control type 1 diabetes. Here's our CBS News medical correspondent, Dr. John LaPook.
Nurse Nina Sherman is one of more than 1 million Americans with type 1 diabetes. Since elementary school, she's been checking her blood sugar and giving herself insulin several times a day to control the disease.
Have you thought about a day when you wouldn't have to take insulin?
I don't think about it that often, to tell you the truth. It's hard to imagine at this point in my life. I can't remember not taking insulin.
But a new experimental kind of immune therapy using adult stem cells, and described today in the Journal of the American Medical Association, might someday enable diabetics like Nina to stop taking medication altogether.
After this treatment, people have been completely drug-free, no medications whatsoever, no insulin, no other medications for their diabetes.
Type 1 diabetics have a faulty immune system that mistakenly destroys insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. The result? High blood sugar.
Poorly controlled diabetes with very high blood sugars over decades can lead to blindness, to amputation, to heart attack, to stroke, and to kidney failure needing dialysis.
In the new treatment tested on only 15 patients, adult stem cells were removed from the blood and stored. The patients then underwent a gentle form of chemotherapy to break down the old immune system. The stem cells were then transfused back into the bloodstream with the hope of forming a new and improved immune system that wouldn't attack the pancreas.
The stem cells in the body do what they normally do. That is, they regenerate the immune system.
After the treatment, 13 of the 15 patients were able to stop taking insulin, but they were only followed an average of 1.5 years. Experts are cautiously optimistic.
This is a preliminary set of findings that offer some hope, but this therapy is not ready for prime time.
For now, the therapy does not apply to the nearly 20 million Americans with type 2 diabetes. But people like Nina are hopeful they'll someday be free of a lifetime of pinpricks and injections. Dr. John LaPook, CBS News, New York.
And the results are in tonight on the most public paternity test ever. DNA tests show the biological father of Anna Nicole Smith's baby, Danny Lynn, is not companion Howard K. Stern, who is listed on the birth certificate. The father is Larry Burkhead. There's a custody hearing Friday, but Stern says he will not fight Burkhead for custody. Still ahead, an American soldier talks about the split-second decision that now has him facing a murder charge. Lara Logan's exclusive interview when we come back. Every day in Iraq, soldiers have to make split-second decisions with life or death implications. Next week in Italy, an American soldier will be put on trial for murder in a shooting at an army checkpoint. It's essentially a show trial. The soldier can't be forced to attend or serve time if convicted. But tonight, in this television exclusive, he tells his side of the story to our chief foreign correspondent, Lara Logan.
For 2 years, specialist Mario Lozano has agonized about taking the life of an Italian secret agent when he was manning a mounted machine gun at a U.S. roadblock one night on what was the most dangerous highway in Iraq.
I get nightmares. I think about that guy almost every day.
He says he had no idea who was inside the car that came speeding towards his unit after curfew, so he flashed a warning light.
You know, Iraqi civilians, when they see that big spotlight, that means stop.
But he says the car carrying Agent Nicola Calipari and the Italian hostage he'd just freed kept going.
What's going through your mind at that point? You're seeing this car coming at you.
My daughters. I mean, my daughters is like #1 in my life, you know? And I don't want them to grow up without a kid, you know, without a father, so.
So you fire this warning shot.
Yeah.
What happens then?
And the car still didn't stop, so I just had to shoot at the car. I had no choice.
Lozano's bullets killed Calipari and wounded journalist Giuliana Segrena, who just survived 28 days as a hostage. After the incident, he was silenced by the military, but she told the world U.S. soldiers deliberately tried to kill her.
So when the Italian journalist says there was no light flashed, that's not true?
It's not true.
When she says there's no warning shot, is that true?
There was warning shots. It's not true, yeah.
When she says that the vehicle was fired upon 300 to 400 times, is that true?
No, that's a lie. Because in order for that to happen, I will have to reload.
Those details have never been heard in Italy, where thousands poured onto the streets to mourn their national hero. His death enraged a nation already turning against an unpopular war.
He was doing what he was trying to do, and he needs to be defended for that.
Dan O'Shea, a reserve Navy SEAL and coordinator for the U.S. Embassy's hostage working group at the time, says what happened is not Lozano's fault. He believes the Italians didn't want their U.S. ally to know they paid a ransom to the hostage takers, and so Nicola Calipari himself ordered the U.S. be kept in the dark.
He's the one that made the decision that ultimately led to his death. He's got no one to blame for his death, unfortunately, other than himself.
But it's Mario Lozano who's being tried in absentia for murder in Italy.
In your mind, in your conscience, are you clear of any wrongdoing?
Yes. I'm just an infantry soldier doing my job, you know?
If you were talking to his sons and his family right now, what would you say to them?
Wow. That's tough. I don't even know I could look at them in the face, really. You know, not because I feel like I did anything wrong. It's because I know the grief that they might have gone through and all that.
That's a burden Mario Lozano says he will carry for the rest of his life. Lara Logan, CBS News, New York.
And coming up next on the CBS Evening News, music downloads. The recording industry is about to tell college students the party's over. The United States filed new complaints against China today with the World Trade Organization. American companies say they're losing billions of dollars every year because China won't crack down on illegally copied movies and designer clothes. Some college students are about to get a lesson in copyright law. The recording industry plans to send threatening letters tomorrow to students at 21 universities all around the country. The students accused of illegally downloading music will be given a choice: pay up now or we'll see you in court. Here's Anthony Mason.
They used to be the music industry's best customers. Now they're its biggest pirates, college kids. Instead of buying songs for 99 cents each legally on sites like iTunes, the internet has given them instant access to free music.
It seems so easy that it's almost not like stealing.
You basically illegally download all your music?
Not all of it.
But most of it, say these University of Southern California students, even though the recording industry has sent threatening letters here.
So these letters don't scare you? No matter what they do, it's never going to stop completely.
See for yourself how big the problem is. You're watching a real-time readout of illegal downloads.
We're looking for what songs and other entertainment media people are seeking out for free online right now.
They go by in the hundreds per second. Requests for Buddy Holly, Miles Davis, Avril Lavigne.
These are big numbers we're looking at here.
Yeah, they're terrifying numbers to the recording industry.
Eric Garland heads Big Champagne, a research group that tracks illegal traffic. Today alone, Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run was downloaded illegally more than 137,000 times.
For every song that is downloaded legally, how many are downloaded illegally?
At least, very conservatively, at least 20.
That's right, 20 to 1. It took iTunes 5 years to sell 2 billion songs, but there are 1 billion illegal downloads every month.
The world now, more often than not, gets its music for free, gets its music online, and gets its music without permission. That's broken. That is not a marketplace.
And if the music industry can't find a solution, it's looking more and more like the song is over. Anthony Mason, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And that's the CBS Evening News for tonight. I'm Katie Couric in New York. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.